Who's there? Please, leave us alone. Bernadetta sent you. Do you have proof? That necklace. You're not Yuri. But you do have Bernadetta's flowers and potions. Okay, I'll let you in, but only if you explain what's going on. Why did Bernadetta and Yuri send you here? I see. What she says is true. Hilda and I have spent more time with Yuri overall, but that doesn't mean we know what he's thinking. He's a very hard person to read. I'm afraid I'm not very skilled at understanding most people as it is, but even Hilda struggles to anticipate his whims. Didn't Bernadetta tell you? I assume she did, considering the potions she sent you with. Hilda needs rest at the moment. She's had a long night and needs time to recover. I'm sorry, I'm not nearly as helpful as she is, but I cannot allow you to see her right now. I don't know. Are you sure you didn't meet him? You don't remember getting that necklace? Tell me exactly what happened. How did Bernadetta find you? Wait a moment, I might have an idea. If she found you while gathering these moon blossoms, they might have seen what happened that night. Let me fetch a fresh pot and some moon water. Do you know how long you laid out there? No. Do you have any memories from before you fell asleep? Where you came from? Who your family is? That's horrific. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine being held captive and fed on every night. How did you escape? Another vampire? Are you sure? Who were they? If that's where it begins to get hazy, then maybe... Can you picture them at all? Or remember any details of how they got you out? Long orange hair. I don't know. For as long as I've known him, Yuri prefers a form with lilac-colored hair and matching eyes. But he often shapeshifts for covert missions like this. If he knew you were in there, he could have disguised himself as a vampire to sneak in. Letting you out of the dungeon and guiding you to an exit would be much easier if he blended in. It's also just like him to hold back the guards who caught up with you as you reached the door, and to tell you to run ahead. If that's the case, though, then why didn't he catch up with you afterward? Why give you a necklace and send you out into the world alone? If you escaped last night, the castle they held you in must be close by. Yuri should be here by now. He didn't give it to you? That's only stranger. I think we have to ask the flowers. It's a shame. These ones are really pretty. I know Hilda would say we should use them to help you, but blooms this big are rare. Maybe if I only use one. Revela veritatem tuam. I'm always so nervous to do that. Oh, no, you're not wrong. Normal druids would just revitalize the plants. It's just that I'm cursed. It's all my fault. I didn't listen to the warnings of my coven. We lived in a sacred grove near the forbidden shore. When I was little, I loved exploring and bringing home trinkets I found in the forest. My coven warned me over and over not to take anything from the grove's edge. But one day I saw the most beautiful blue lily. I didn't realize where I was, and I plucked it up right off the stem. Instantly it turned black in my palm, and the whole forest hissed with wind and magic around me. Ever since then, whenever I cast a spell, instead of breathing life into nature, it kills and consumes the living things around me. I don't want sympathy. This is my own fault, and now I am a curse to whoever comes near me. That's why I ran away from my coven and came to this forest, where I could be secluded away from anyone who might fall in harm's way. You sound just like Hilda and Yuri. None of you understand. Usefulness doesn't mean good. I'm dangerous, just like Hilda is. She came to these woods for the same reason as me, and she's known it since the night we met. It was a full moon, the second full moon she ever faced as a werewolf. Hilda wasn't born a werewolf, she was bit. After she nearly killed her entire family the first time she transformed, she knew she had to isolate herself from everyone. So she ran away from home and came to these woods. She thought she was far away from anyone else. No, not me. She attacked Yuri. I just happened to be nearby when it happened. As a druid, I've always been able to speak to animals, but I didn't know it would work on werewolves. I ran to them without thinking and called out for her to stop, and somehow it worked. She just looked at me and hesitated. I wasn't actually sure Yuri was still alive. He was laying there, bleeding terribly. But then he rasped out his name and insisted I tell her who he was. He said he was sent by her brother and his best friend to find her. I had no idea what was going on at that point, so I I just did as he asked, and miraculously it worked. Hilda backed off and then ran away. There was a big oak tree nearby. I had to sap all of its life force to channel into Yuri's wounds. It was terrifying. And then when it was done and he could speak easier, he told me he had a healing potion in his pouch he would have asked me to get for him. I killed that tree for no reason. He said so too. It's the most earnest I've ever seen him when he thanked me for saving his life. That was when he gave me this mockingbird pin and promised to help me if I ever needed it. Then he left. Yes. I didn't think I'd ever see either of them again. But the next morning, he showed up at my little camp, carrying poor Hilda. She was exhausted, wounded, and wrapped up in nothing but his cloak since her clothes had all torn when she transformed. He came to ask if they could have one of my dresses. Even a monster like me couldn't have turned them away. I am, but so is Hilda, and she didn't seem to mind. As Yuri and I nursed her back to health, we grew closer. She even made me smile, as bizarre as the situation was. I suppose she's just that charming. She managed to convince Yuri to let her stay in the woods instead of bringing her back home to her brother. He even gave her a pin before he left. We've been living together ever since. No, just Hilda and I. I don't think Yuri calls any one place home. He comes and goes quite often, though. This is the longest he's ever stayed away. The moonflower ashes should be cool now. Let's go. No, I can't do anything more with them. I lost my ability to speak with plants when I plucked that flower. If we want to know what these moon blossoms saw, we'll have to get our answers straight from the horse's mouth. Whoa, easy, Dorte. What's the matter? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't think about that. I'm sorry. This is my friend Dorte. Yuri and I rescued him from a roving group of bandits with a vampire in their ranks. He was used as a blood source, so even seeing half a vampire makes him nervous. That's true. It's okay, Dorte. This person knows exactly what you've been through. You two have that in common. There you are. Can we come closer? I need your help with a spell. Thank you. He says we can come closer. Once he drinks this, he'll be able to tell me what the flowers said. What is it, Dorte? The changeling. That's what Dorte calls Yuri. So he did bring them to the forest after all. What shape did he take, Dorte? Did he have orange hair? Lilac as usual. So either he transformed once you reached the forest, or he wasn't the one who freed you. Were they talking at all, Dorte? He carried you unconscious and laid you in the flowers. Then you spoke to them. No, he was leaving a message. He knew you'd come to me for help. Forgive my methods. I've got eyes on me, so I can't come to see you. This vampire isn't what they seem. Seek out the elves. You'll find contacts in the village. Is that everything? That's all. I don't know what he meant when he said that about you, but I know he doesn't take things like this lightly. You're going to need help. Hilda and I go to the village every month for supplies, so I know the way. I'm sorry Hilda isn't well enough to take you herself, but I don't think we should wait. What do you want to do? Okay, then let's go find the elves.